If you're a road warrior, selecting an airline to which you remain loyal is a critical yet difficult decision to make. Unless you're a hub captive and forced onto a specific carrier, many travelers can pick an airline based on the perks it offers elite status members, including bonus miles, lounge access, priority airport benefits, and many others. Today, we'll crunch the numbers on one of the major US airlines to see if pursuing elite status makes the most sense for you. I'll consider each tier's various benefits to help you answer the following question: is it worth pursuing status with the American Airlines A-Advantage program? For the sake of this analysis, I'm valuing any bonus miles earned based on TPG's most recent valuations, which peg A-Advantage miles at 1.4 cents apiece. In addition, I'm rounding all of the individual benefit valuations to the nearest $5 to make the math a bit simpler. Things to consider before chasing American elite status. There are a few things to keep in mind as you decide whether or not to chase American elite status in 2021. Here's a look. How much are you traveling during the coronavirus pandemic? It's hard to talk about travel without discussing the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. The pandemic has changed travel as we know it, and many of us are traveling less. Many US airlines have responded to the pandemic by extending elite status and making it easier to earn status in 2021. American did both. It extended 2020 elite status early on in the pandemic and recently reduced 2021 elite status requirements. American is reduced elite qualifying miles, EQMs, required by 20% and elite qualifying segments, EQSs, and elite qualifying dollars, EQDs, by 20% to 33%. Does American have a large presence at your home airport? American in many U.S. cities, with the largest being at Dallas FT, Worth, DFW, Charlotte, CLT, Chicago O'Hare, ORD, Miami, Missing in Action, and Philadelphia, PHL. Likewise, it maintains large hubs at Phoenix, PHX, New York JFK, New York LaGuardia, LGA, Los Angeles, LAX, and Washington National, DCA. This makes American a convenient option for many U.S. travelers as the airline's hubs are spread out across most major metropolitan areas. If you live near one of these hubs, American status could be a great option. Chances are you already fly American regularly, given the airline's large presence in your airport. This is especially true in places like Dallas, where United is the only carrier with a major hub. Alternatively, you may fly to one of American's hubs often or, in the case of small airports, find that American has the best one-stop connections from your home city. Whatever the case may be, look at your flight habits and see if it makes sense for you to move the bulk of your flying to American and its One-World partners. For example, if you live near Minneapolis-St. Paul, MSP, you may want to skip American elite status. The airline has limited service from this airport and compared to Delta. On the other hand, it may make sense for someone based in Charlottesville, CHO, to pick American, as all airlines have limited service to the city. Plus, you can conveniently connect through Charlotte Hub. One last thing, American has fewer routes to Asia and Europe compared to United and Delta. Keep this in mind, as you'll likely have to rely on partners like British Airways and Cathay Pacific when heading to these destinations. You'll have some One-World elite status benefits on these flights, but not everything is reciprocal. You may want to consider another airline if you frequently travel to an international destination American doesn't serve. American is launching partnerships with Alaska Airlines and JetBlue. This year, we'll see American partner with Alaska Airlines and JetBlue. On the Alaska side, the American will strengthen its existing partnership when Alaska fully joins One-World later this year. We can expect to see benefits like reciprocal upgrades, preferred seating for elites, and other great benefits. This will increase American's reach on the West Coast and make Anchorage, ANC, Portland, PDX, San Diego, SAN, San Francisco Airport, and Seattle, SCA, pseudo-hubs for the airline. This will be a huge advantage for both American and Alaska elites.
Further, American and JetBlue are launching a partnership that focuses on the Northeast. Much of the details are still up in the air, but we can expect to see reciprocal mileage earning and redemption and limited reciprocal elite benefits. Again, this will benefit American and JetBlue elites as it expands both carriers' reach and opens up new ways to earn miles.
You can fast-track to American Elite status with a credit card. American's suite of co-branded credit cards can help you earn elite status. Starting this year, American is allowing co-branded credit card holders to waive the elite qualifying dollar requirement after spending $30,000 or more on an American card. This takes some of the legwork out of earning status and may help you earn status cheaper. For example, if you usually take lots of low-cost domestic flights, you may have an easier time qualifying for status by meeting the elite qualifying segment requirement. That said, keep the opportunity cost of spending on an American co-branded credit card in mind. You may earn more points by putting your expenses on a transferable points card that earns bonus points on dining, travel, and other popular categories. Points like American Express membership rewards and Chase Ultimate rewards are generally more valuable than American miles due to their expansive list of transfer partners. You can earn elite qualifying miles with the Premium City/A Advantage Executive World Elite MasterCard. You'll earn 10,000 elite qualifying miles (EQMs) after spending $40,000 on the card in a calendar year. These EQMs do not count toward million miler status, and you can only earn the bonus EQMs once per year. Plus, the card includes an Admirals Club membership and other perks that offset its annual fee. You're going to walk away with a solid stash of American miles when chasing status, so make sure you value them highly. Otherwise, you could be left with a stash of miles you can't use. American prices most awards based on a standard award chart, but has elements of dynamic pricing. It publishes an award chart for partner awards and its own mile essay over tickets, but prices Web Special Award dynamically. Web Special Awards can often be cheaper than Mile Saver awards but sometimes are discounted Anytime tickets. Anytime is American's last seat award tier that lets you book expensive award tickets on almost all American flights. Again, we value American A Advantage miles at 1.4 cents per point, but you may value them differently. I recommend that you create your own valuation by averaging together the redemption value of redemptions you're likely to make with your American miles. You can do this by finding the cent per point value of a handful of redemptions you'd make and then averaging them out. To do this, find the points and cash cost of a flight. For example, this Cathay Pacific round-trip flight from New York JFK to Hong Kong, HKG, in business class costs 140,000 American miles and $68.35. The same ticket costs $8,274. You can find the cent per point value for this flight by subtracting the award taxes and fees from the cash fare. Then divide that number by the points required to book. In this case, the math looks like this: 8,274 to 68.35/140,000 equals 5.86 cents per point. Doing this for multiple flights will give you a better look at how much American miles are worth, based on your travel habits. If this number is lower than TPG's valuation, you may want to choose another program. All that being said, where do the 4 elite levels of the A Advantage program land? Here's my analysis. A Advantage Gold, $855. The lowest tier in American's program is A Advantage Gold status, which normally requires 25,000 EQMs or 30 elite qualifying segments plus $3,000 elite qualifying dollars, EQDs. For this analysis, I'll base my numbers on earning 30,000 EQMs at a cost of 12.5 cents per mile, so a total spend of $3,750. A Advantage Platinum, $2,145. The second tier in American's program is A Advantage Platinum status, which normally requires 50,000 EQMs or 60 elite qualifying segments plus $6,000 EQDs. For this analysis, I'll base my numbers on earning 60,000 EQMs at a cost of 12.5 cents per mile, so a total spend of $7,500. A Advantage Platinum Pro, $3,780. The third tier in the A Advantage program is Platinum Pro, which normally requires 75,000 EQMs or 90 elite qualifying segments plus $9,000 EQDs. For this analysis, I'll base my numbers on earning 90,000 EQMs at a cost of 12.5 cents per mile, so a total spend of $11,250. A Advantage Executive Platinum, $6,735. The Advantage program's final tier is Executive Platinum status, which normally requires 100,000 EQMs or 120 elite qualifying segments plus $15,000 EQDs. For this analysis, I'll base my numbers on earning 120,000 EQMs at a cost of 12.5 cents per mile, so a total spend of $15,000. No one will argue that elite status can make your travel experience less stressful and more rewarding, but pursuing status with a given airline or hotel chain may not make sense if it doesn't align with your typical travel plans. Understanding how much the benefits are worth can go a long way toward helping this decision, so I hope my analysis of the Advantage Elite program has been helpful.